Welcome to DIY Design by CCW, DIY Design for the 21st Century. My name is Candy and I'm the host of this channel. Now let's get into this video. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to DIY Design by CCW. I hope you are having the most fantastic day and I thank you so much for tuning in. Well, today everyone, I'm going to be bringing you a different sort of DIY. We're going to be using a variety of materials, most of which come from DollarTree, including these DollarTree napkin holders. I've got a canvas that comes from DollarTree, a light that I purchased from Big Lots. We've got some reflective paper that comes from Joann Fabric, and two types actually. We've also got some gold and some silver bling wrap. They come from Fabermart, and we've got some tools here, various tools such as my normal glue that I use, scissors, a marker, and we're going to also use these crystals that come from Joann Fabric. Now let's just jump right into the DIY, and hopefully you can follow along, and I really don't think it's going to be difficult. This is a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Now, first you see me taking, of course, the wrapping, exterior wrapping off of my canvas, and I'm going to cut the tags off of the napkin holders and just kind of see how everything fits. Now guys, I'll have details in my description box with the dimensions and all of that, so that if you want to make this, you'll have all of that information. So the first thing I want to do is use my mirror reflective paper that again I purchased that from Joann Fabrics, but they sell it online. You can get it from different places, and I've used my marker to make sure that I have a straight cut and that it is the right size. Now there is adhesive on the back of this paper, however I have found it doesn't hold that well, so I'm just going to use some of my E6000 glue and use that to attach the reflective paper to my little canvas. And I'm going to make sure that I put an adequate amount on the ends as well as the middle, and then we're going to attach it. Now the next thing you'll see me do is I'm going to go ahead and start doing the ends of the, as you can see, I need to cover the ends or the corners and the ends of my little canvas. So since there was a little bit of material left over, I'll go ahead and cut that to cover the top and the bottom. And then I've got some other paper that's not quite not the same kind of paper, but it'll work, and I'm going to use that to cover the sides. Okay, everyone, now that we've got the mirror paper attached to the base, what we're going to do is start working on the rest of the sconce. Now, the first one thing I'll note, you'll see that I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead now, before I glue the napkin holders onto the base, is I'm going to go ahead and add the crystals. Now, the reason I'm adding the crystals now is just going to make it easier to get them on. And what I'm going to do and decided to do, I was originally going to go all the way around the bottom, but I decided to just use 3 in the center. And of course, you might want to do it differently, or you may not want to use crystals at all, but that's what I decided to do. Now, these again are Hildie and Joe, and you get 2 of them for the price of 1. They're usually on sale. I think regular price, they may be $5.99, and if you have a 50% off coupon, like I typically do, then you get the idea. But what I'm doing here is using some wire pliers just to make it a little easier to get these on. And then once I get them secured, I'll add just a little dab of hot glue to keep them in the center. And then once I glue the napkin holder down to the base, they're going to stay anyway, because I'm going to have to put a bead of glue across the back of the napkin holder. But that's what I'll be doing here for a second until I get to the point where I get these glued down. All right, everyone, so now it's time to go ahead and get these napkin holders glued into place. Now, I'm going to place my light in the center. Again, the light that I purchased here, I got 2 in a pack for $3, and they come from Big Lots. And I'm going to use Velcro to attach these rather than glue them down, because when the battery wears out, I want to be able to take the light out and replace the battery, but I also want it to stay secure. Now, the Velcro I'm using is Velcro that you can purchase from, I purchased mine from Home Depot, but again, you can get you can get whatever kind you want. The reason I'm using this particular kind is it's rated to hold some weight, and I don't have to, even though the light isn't very heavy, I don't want to have to worry about it coming off. Now, once I get that Velcro down, then what I'm doing is putting a bead of glue along the bottom of the napkin holder so that I can attach it. You don't want to be too heavy on the glue. You want to have it enough to keep it secure, but you don't want, you can't really clean this up, because this paper won't allow you to, meaning if you get a lot of excess glue, it's going to be there. You're not going to be able to remove it. So be light with your glue. And also, the one reason I like using the quick hold is, and of course you use whatever adhesive you like, is that if I need to move it or adjust slightly, I can. So now, once you get that secured, you want to move on to the next phase. Now, the one thing I didn't show you at the beginning is that I'm actually using a piece that I purchased from DollarTree. Again, another DollarTree item. And basically, all this is a little mat. And I love the way it's got all of the holes in it, because the holes are exactly what I need in order to be able to let the light shine through. And what you see me doing here, what I found to be the easiest method, is to apply a light bead of glue on my napkin holders, and then just lay the mat over the napkin holders. Now, I'll put the names and all the details and all of that in case you decide to make these down in the And I'll actually put the SKU number for you in case you want to buy these from DollarTree and you want to make these. Now, once you do that, you've got your glue on the napkin holders. And again, light, but enough to make it secure. You want to put a bead of glue on the edge of your mat all the way down on both sides so that you can adhere it. I found that to be the easiest way to glue it on. Now, this is the perfect size. If you go with this size, and again, I'll leave the dimensions for you down in the description box, and just kind of glue it on. That's it. That's it. It gives you a really nice base for what we're going to do next. Now here you see me taking my ruler, just kind of making sure that the sides are attached. And the good thing is, if this needed to be moved, I could do it because it's quick hold, but it gives you a little working time. Now, this next step, we're going to go ahead and add our bling wrap. Now, guys, I just decided to go with this bling wrap. Use whatever you like if you decide to make these. I mean, it's endless. You know what you can do. You could add some gems. You could do all sorts of things. But this is what I decided to do. And because I've been on a sort of a gold and silver kick lately, because I have a lot of gold and silver mixed in my house, and where I'm going to eventually hang these, I think gold and silver would look best. What I'm going to do is use some gold and silver bling wrap. Now, after you cut it, now somehow you'll notice that I actually cut the gold piece a little short, but that's all right because I end up using it in a different place. After you cut it, then you want to lay it out, and here's where I noticed that the gold piece was a little bit short, and I'm going to have to cut another piece. But once you get it laid out, and I would lay it out first, make sure that everything's a fit. Like I said, I thought I had cut the gold piece properly, and it was a little too short. But once you lay it out, then you can start gluing. And that way I would glue one piece at a time so that that way you make sure that everything lines up. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And then once I get all the pieces glued down, I'll go ahead and add another little strip. And, once I do that, I think this DIY will be done. But I want you to hold on because I'm going to show you what they look like once I get them hung up, and how they look with the lights on and all of that. And so here with applying the glue, again, all you want to do, now this is how I do it. Some people I know do a dollop at a time. Listen, it takes so long to get the glue on there, especially when you're working with a piece of bling wrap this large. I just go straight down, but making sure that I put more glue on the ends, because once the ends need to be flat and need to lay flat. And but again, do it the way you feel more comfortable with. Use the glue or adhesive that you're most comfortable with. What I would not do is use hot glue because obviously that would melt the plastic. And but any other adhesive I'm sure would work. So here I'm just placing my bling wrap and lining it up. And again, I'm going to take one piece off at a time and glue it down. That way I'll be sure that everything lines up properly. So now that I've got the silver on, I'll repeat the same steps with the gold, with the silver, and then I'll be back in a little bit to add the trim, and then for the final reveal. All right, guys, so what you see me doing here is I'm going to take, and I've cut some pieces here, or I'm cutting pieces that I'm going to use to add a little finishing touch to my light sconce. Now, this is something, of course, you don't have to do. You could certainly leave it just like it is, but I wanted to add a little bit more edge to give it just a little more finished look. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually using that piece of bling wrap that I had previously cut that was a little too short, and it actually turns out that it's just the right length for this. And I'm going to add that bling wrap on both sides, and I'm also going to go around the top and the bottom just to give it a little more finished look. And you know, I think I like how it turned out, but you guys will let me know. And then once I do this, I'll set it aside, let it dry. I would let it dry at least an hour before you move it. And because remember, we didn't use hot glue when we attached the napkin holders, and the reason is I didn't want to melt the reflective paper. Now, if you were just gluing this to a mirror rather than doing what I did to build a base, then you certainly could have used hot glue, and then everything would have set a little bit faster. But you wouldn't be able to use hot glue for the plastic if you're going to add that, the mat, to give yourself a base before you add bling wrap. So that's what I'll be doing, guys. And then after this, hang on, because we'll be back, and I'll be back for the final review. All right, guys, so this is how the wall sconces turned out. Here I'm showing you what they look like side by side, all lit up. And this is, of course, a little close-up with them not lit. And I'm just showing you with some other DIYs, because you guys know I have to do that. All right, so again, little close-up here. I really like how they turned out. Now, I don't have them in the final place that I'm going to put them. They're going to end up in my dining room, I believe, but I'm in my kitchen right now as I'm filming this. I really like them. I think they're very pretty, but again, you guys let me know what you think. Now, you can always take these up a notch. You can add some gems. You can try different types of bling wrap. You can do different colors. All of that's up to you. But, you know, again, easy, inexpensive, quick. Hey, those check all of my boxes. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you're not a member of the channel, I hope you'll hit that notification button today, subscription button rather, and tap that bell at least 2 times. I'd love to have you be a member of the family. And for all of my returning subscribers, thank you so much. You are so appreciated. And like I say at the end of every video, have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I can't wait to see you, each and every one of you, in the next video. All right, everyone. Have a great day or a great night. Bye-bye.